Welcome everyone to another broadcast of Southern Virginia Athletics. Art Furler here with Mike Harmon as our women's basketball team gets ready to tip off against the York College Spartans. It'll be a tough matchup today, Mike.
It will be a tough matchup. York comes in 5-0, 1-0 in the conference, and averaging about 71 points a game. Unfortunately for the Knights, they've lost their last two games by about 20 points. Hopefully they can get some things turned around. The good news is in the last game, Shelby Windsor came of age and showed us what she can really do.
Amen to that. You know, it's really interesting. The one win that the Spartans have so far in conference was against Wesley this week. We had a visitor to campus, Bud Stoddard, recently. We were walking through the gym, and he looked up at the banners of the CAC conference and goes, you got the York College Spartans and the Wesley Wolverines. Spartans and Wolverines. It's like Michigan and Michigan State. I was like, I've never thought of that. All the times I've been in here, never thought of it.
Well, he is a Michigan guy.
Amen to that. So we got starting lineups here, starting off with the Knights. Mike, get us with the starters, if you would.
Well, we got number 11, Shay Wilcox. Number 20, Jamila Gamby. Number 23, Autumn Kramer. Number 31, Larissa McFarland. And number 41, Shelby Windsor.
Some very interesting changes in the lineup for the Knights as well. We've got a few injuries. Katie Hare is going to be out. Nicole Muse is going to be out. Morgan Hartvigsen, who's really been a big contributor recently, is going to be out. Kimberly Eads, Nicole Clark, all out. A couple of additions, too, though.
Has some additions. Have Lexi Grantham coming in off the soccer team. Originally was going to play basketball, but decided that only one sport was going to be good for her, so she's here to play. And then also Tatiana Monson, who played her freshman year, is out trying to help them give a little more depth to the bench.
Yeah, Tatiana, certainly no stranger to this court, played a fair bit of point guard for us. As far as the York College Spartans are concerned, starters are number 3, Brianna Bishey, number 11, Morgan Keeney, number 13, Sarah Shearer, number 24, Sam Ruse, and number 43, Katie Wagner.
And the one to watch on York is going to be Ruse. She was a player of the week last week in the Capital Conference. Fabulous player. Came up and is a junior this year, but her freshman year played with 4 seniors who were the all-time winningest combination in York's history. And she has just blossomed right now.
Something to keep an eye out for sure. As we get ready to tip off here, it will be Sam Ruse jumping against Shelby Windsor. As we get ready to start this doubleheader, the Southern Virginia Knights hosting the York College Spartans.
Well, the one area that York is lacking is in their free throw shooting. They shoot 59% as opposed to the Knights shooting over 75%.
And the Knights control the tip-off. Shay Wilcox at point for the Knights. We've mentioned a few times, but just in case you're unfamiliar, we do run a 4-quarter format this year, in addition to some other rule changes that will go as they become relevant throughout the match. High off the top. First shot goes awry, and that's going to go the way of the York College Spartans. Like the way how the Knights worked the ball around on that first possession, but the result, not what they would have hoped for.
Yeah, showed a lot of patience there, but also that has to do with some of York's defensive pressure. They are a very well-coached defensive team, so the Knights are going to have to be patient by forfeit.
Short shot, rebound comes away to Kramer. Wilcox running it back for the Knights.
And if the Knights can keep York off the offensive boards, that will do really well for the Knights.
Knights content to swing it around. Looking back to go inside, reversing. Under 10 seconds. Knights really having a difficult time executing early in the shot clock, or choosing not to. And it's going to be touched out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock.
Actually, probably less than 1 second. So this is going to have to be a catch and shoot really fast. Tip it up in the air.
And won't even get that opportunity. Stolen on the inbound. The Knights with a little bit of token pressure that time. And traveling. Getting a little bit of a slide on that for Morgan Keeney.
Again, on a cold day outside, people are taking a little bit of time to warm up, and we can understand that.
Yeah, a minute and 15 seconds deep, and neither team on the board as of yet. Good look inside. And a nice turnaround. Autumn Kramer off a great pass. Not typical that your center's going to do that, but great touch by Windsor. And Gamby fighting for it. And it comes away to the Knights again.
And that's a great place to be as Keeney tried to overpass that one. She should have took it up herself. Good thing the Knights were back in position. Oh.
Good look inside, just couldn't finish, but a great look. And that's going to be a foul a long way from the basket.
And that's Shelby Windsor, and you don't want her to have those fouls on her.
Absolutely not, especially with Clark injured. That will be a difficult row to hoe if their big bodies get fouls early.
Exactly.
Knights out in their press again. Been living and dying by it. And unfortunately, there's the die. The look well ahead to Morgan Keeney, her first basket.
And I was just getting ready to say, this is one team, York, that we haven't really seen them try to attack that pressure. That time they did.
It's going to be a foul against Brianna Bishey, her first. On the hold. On the floor, however, so Wilcox to inbound for Southern Virginia. Lob over the top. And they're going to get a travel on that, too. Just a little too excited for Kramer. Taking the step before he put the ball on the deck. And right in front of the ref. Good start, though. The Knights, in a couple of games recently, have really fallen down quickly. But they've held well the first couple of minutes here. That basket good for Wagner. Knights swing it to the outside, back, but that long pass, York can hurt you.
They want to get the foul before the shot. A little bit of a push there.
Yeah, that's, speaking of rule changes, there was very little contact on that, especially if you're used to watching past years, but it's enough under the new freedom of movement rules. And there's another basket. That's Sarah Shearer, her first. So distributed scoring for the Spartans so far, 2 for Keeney, 2 for Shearer, and 2 for Wagner. Looks like the Spartans are figuring out this press pretty quickly, though, Mike.
Yeah, they didn't attack it the first 2 minutes of the game. The last minute and a half, they've found some wide open layups, and that's been the problem with this press for the Knights lately is it's just been giving up way too many layups, too many points in the paint.
Well, and it's those open lobs over the top. They can really get somebody open quickly, and the Knights have kind of been victim to the same thing at the other end where their long passes are getting intercepted. So I think they've got to try to change that up on both sides, either
when you have
jump in on pass routes or...
When you have north-south passes, those long lobs can happen. When you go east-west, any kind of skip pass going across the lane from three-point line to three-point line, you can almost guarantee it's going to be stolen.
Yeah, especially if it's that lob side. You've got to really get it there quickly if that's going to work out. To the corner quickly. And back around the horn. And even the short pass now intercepted. Great defense, though. The Knights able to prevent the fast break there and prevent the foul. Go out of bounds and stay with the Spartans. Hard screen on Windsor. York maintains possession, top of the key, and that shot off the mark by Ruse. Put back no good, and
then you see the Knights really want to run, but York has been able to, just.
Great save, but to the wrong team, and they're off to the races. And not so much on the finish at the other end.
But the offensive rebound. And a walk there.
A lot of travel so far today, Mike. We're averaging about 1 a minute so far. Yeah. It's going to be a long game if that continues.
The players just need to settle down a little bit. They're a little bit too anxious to try to make that move to the basket.
Wilcox again controlling for the Knights. Goes all the way, kicks back up. Good ball movement, but the shot not dropping. York looking to run the other way, and the look ahead is good. And Jamila Gamby fighting for that one, preventing what could have been a pretty easy layup.
Yeah, and it just went out of bounds. More likely that should have been called a jump ball.
Hell ball, yeah. Yeah. Definitely looked like it. York just resets.
Looks like the Knights are in some type of little zone.
Good defense again. Windsor, risky defense, we'll call it.
Yeah, and again, we're trying to understand what the referees are going to be calling. You know, we see hand checks called 40 feet from the basket, and then we see lots of body in the paint on both sides, and nothing's called. Nevertheless, shot clock's down to under 10 now.
York still working, trying to find an opening. Under 5. They've got to take a shot, and they do. Off the mark, and a tip off. Gamby goes to the floor on that. Great hustle by her.
That'll be the second on Biskey.
Yeah, that's 2 very quick fouls on a starter, Brianna Bishey, who stays in the game 4.5 minutes into the first quarter, already getting into some foul trouble.
Well, again, a calculated risk by York. If the Knights would attack her, maybe get that 3rd foul and get her out for the rest of the half.
And a block inside on the drive by Kramer. The look ahead. Gamby goes straight up, and they're calling it out of bounds. It'll go the way of the Knights. There's some fresh blood for the Spartans coming in. That's Debria Hendricks and Carly McFatridge. And there was one more that I missed.
23,
Morgan Golick. Spartans doing a lot more inside out on the offensive end. And a travel again.
Yeah, it was a double dribble more than travel. She put the ball down, picked it up, and then after a pivot tried to go again. And we're seeing a little bit of difference here between the team that the Knights last played and this York team. They're not as physical on the inside, but they are very long.
Very true. Wilcox go inside, kicks out. Yes, ma'am. 3-pointer is good for Larissa McFarland. And the steal by Gamby. Back on the offensive end. And blocked by the Spartans. Saved off the referee. So it'll stay with the Knights.
And Ruse there is a human eraser. That has to be her 3rd block so far.
Yeah. Well, the Knights are going to have to adjust that, either go in and look for the contact or avoid that lane altogether.
A shot fake would do wonders.
Oh, yeah. Wilcox getting some tight defense by Hendricks. Under 10. Looking for a shot. Oh, good look inside. Over the back, but no call. 4 seconds.
And 3 seconds in the lane.
Oh, and just as the shot drops.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Kramer was in there, I think, for more like 3 minutes than 3 seconds.
It was a little while.
You know, the referees aren't going to call it, so.
Tough 2-on-1 defense that time, but you always have to stop the ball carrier. That basket good for Carly McFatridge of York. Another dangerous skip pass, gets away with that one. Oh, good move. That delay, offensive foul is the call.
Foul, wow. And she paid the price on that.
Yes, she did. Larissa McFarland called for the charge. Her first foul, but a big one.
Wow.
That's a foul, but also that 2-point swing as the basket goes in. In a game this close that early, that's a big call.
That it was.
Good ball movement, and this time Wilcox able to get out in front and break up the pass.
Nice hands.
Moving 1-on-4, off-balance shot. And now the Spartans looking to run the other way. Work to the outside.
2-point shot.
It is 2, but it is good for Carly McFatridge. She's got 4, leading all scores so far, if you believe it, Mike. Nobody really coming alive.
Well, this is a lower scoring game. Nice.
Oh. Well, the Knights getting a lot of opportunities on this possession.
Oh,
and a travel. We're pretty close to on pace for about 1 minute.
We are. There's a lot of balls there. Those should have been called for jump balls.
Yep. Yeah, some tie-ups for long possessions, but they're letting them play. Oh, and definitely double. Thought about making the pass. I think realized that's the wrong colored jersey and tried to gather and change your mind.
That's the problem when you have 2 teams out there playing in green.
Yep.
You just look and see green automatically, and you want to throw that ball.
And green means go, right?
Yeah, green means go.
10-5 as we approach the end of this first quarter. And now it's the hand check. It's Debria Hendricks, her first.
This is a great start for the Knights, even though they're down by 5, because in their last game they were down by 10 in the first 3 minutes.
Right. Yeah, focus more on the difference than the percentage. It's a very low-scoring first quarter.
Very low scoring for both teams.
Up top to Wilcox, just too high for her. Good defense, but Hendricks able to put it in. Wilcox hoping to close the gap as we approach the end of the first quarter. Good post move, but just too strong.
And it's going to be out off of McFarland.
The Knights have had some good looks inside. They just haven't been able to find the bottom of the net. And Gamby's tenacious defense slowing things down a little bit, but the Spartans able to get in.
Oh, nice block from behind.
Yeah, McFarland connecting on that as well. Drives all the way.
And another charge.
Foul.
We saw that.
Yeah, she was there for a long time. You could tell the York defender there was asking for it. And that's a second early one on Shea Wilcox. Yeah, you've got to be very careful when driving. Oh, Gamby with the steal.
McFarland with the rebound. McFarland with another rebound. And puts it in.
And now Larissa McFarland leading the way of all scorers with 5. Ran back the other way very quickly by Morgan Keeney. Very exciting play steal at the other end, but when you negate it with the give back, makes it tough.
Another walk, and you're right. We're on track for 1 a minute.
It was intended as an observation, not a prophecy, Mike, but it's continued through the
rest
of this
continued
quarter.
through this first quarter. Maybe they're getting all their walks out for the rest of the 3 quarters.
There you go.
That would be great if we had no more walks after this quarter.
York College in command. Now testing the perimeter. Gamby again with the tight defense. The outside shot is no good. Rebounded by Autumn Kramer.
And that's another thing that the Spartans don't do very well. They're only shooting about 23% from the 3-point line.
Very short on that. And it's out of bounds. Will stay with the Knights. Inbound to Windsor. Shelby's had a big Knights. Gamby, boy, she is just tenacious. It's the only word I can think to describe her. She just scrappy, maybe scrappy, but I would not want to play soccer or basketball with her defending me. Just wouldn't want to do it.
The Knights in his zone.
Gamby stepping out.
Again, there's that 3-point.
There's Willette now. And draws nothing. York College ball.
It might be good for the Knights to stay back into his zone and dare York to try to shoot threes.
And over at the scorer's table, Tatiana Monson, joined by Christina Siegmiller, who will come in at the break. 15 seconds left in the quarter. Shot clock is off. High arcing shot is no good. Windsor with another rebound. And looking ahead. Good thought, not great execution. As that clock wound down, looked like thought maybe she didn't have quite as much time as she did. And trying to lob ahead to Gambee, who will come out. 3.7 seconds left, and York.
They don't understand that.
Not really.
And no good. No good.
Boy, no. That was very confusing. No sense of urgency with 3.7 seconds on the inbound.
Again, you got a freshman point guard in there who had no real sense of urgency, didn't know the clock situation, and it looks like the Knights got away with one there.
Yeah, especially considering that three-pointer dropped, a rare three-pointer for York, and that puts the lead differential at 5, something the Knights are probably willing to take there for the first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a very good first quarter for the Knights. They've had a lot of shots really close to the basket that hasn't dropped for them. They're keeping York off the offensive boards and really pushing them out that three-point line where they're not excellent shooters. So good things could happen for the Knights.
Well, and foul trouble has been an issue for Southern Virginia a lot this season. Frankly, it's been trouble for a lot of teams, but that's been relatively quiet as well. By my count, 3 fouls on the Spartans, 2 on Bishie, 1 on Debria Hendricks, but the Knights 2-1-1, 2 on Wilcox, 1 on McFarland, 1 on Windsor.
Well, and we've played a whole quarter, and Jamila hasn't picked up a foul, so that's a positive for the Knights also.
Yeah, and have we seen we haven't seen a free throw yet.
We haven't seen the free throw yet.
Very, very not what we're used to so far with this season.
Well, hopefully the consistency or lack of consistency with both teams will be able to adjust to.
Hustle on that, but it will stay at this end.
You know, those 2 fouls on Biskey has really put the York Spartans into a little bit of a tailspin by having the freshman point guard out there the whole time now.
He'll receive pass, prevents an open shot there. Moving across the lane.
That's a 2-point shot.
That's Logan Fuller's basket, her first of the game. Just seeing her start getting some minutes here at the beginning of the second quarter. Wilcox again trying to find some penetration. Hand on the back there. Windsor unable to come up with that one. Good look inside, and it connects. Morgan Keeney now leading all scorers with 6. Knights really having a difficult time connecting passes besides around the perimeter. That case again. And the pull-up just falling to the ground for York. Good backside rebound and the help. Yeah. That is good for Ruse, her first basket of the game.
And the smallest player out on the court got the offensive rebound.
It's got to be hard to swallow as a defender. And that one deflected by York, but ultimately off the hands of Gambee.
You know, now we're seeing York go on a run. We're used to seeing the Knights give up runs, but runs that had a lot to do with their press. Not pressing right now, and seeing York make some runs just with some offensive rebounds and shots in the lane.
Jalen Rivera checking in, as well as Shearer back in the lineup. And Sam Mopniak. Gambee comes up with the steal, going all the way. Off the mark, rebounded by the Knights though. And the jumper is good for McFarland. Pressure back on, look over the top. Gamby fighting for it. And, well, we're not done with traveling in the first quarter. Maybe the first half. But that was good pressure by the Knights on that one. The lob ahead was good, but the Knights able to adapt quickly, come over to it, and again prevent what could have been an easy layup. Willette finds Windsor. It is blocked. Coming back for the Spartans and thrown away.
We're getting another freshman in.
And thrown away again. Yeah. Coach Roberts looking for a foul on that. I think has a pretty decent case. Scoop shot, no good by Willette, but we will see a free throw. Barring a crazy call on that. Jalen Rivera.
And Rivera's making some very forced passes. Knights are getting back into some great passing lanes, and Rivera's just throwing it right to their hands.
Yep. First is good for Willette, her first point of the contest. Katie Wagner coming back in the lineup for Rivera. And Willette makes them both. Oh. And York now showing a little bit of untidiness with dribbling and passing. Not what I would call secure ball handling the last few possessions.
Yeah, again, they're a little bit out of sorts by not having the regular point guard in there.
Nice touch pass. No good. The rebound, though. And now some good looks inside for the Spartans that aren't falling as Windsor cleans that up. Pass over the top, no good. And it'll stay with the Knights.
Oh, and they're going to say that York had no possession whatsoever, so 16 seconds on the shot clock. Hope the Knights see that.
Yep. 10 seconds. Shot clock is winding down. And the steal. We look ahead, 3-on-2. And basket is good for Wagner. Willette with the shot. No good. Two Knights go for it. Gamby comes up with it. And the Knights will get another possession. No luck on that. Gamby comes up with it again. Deflected.
Yeah, a lot of disjointed plays going on both sides.
Over the top to Windsor, very risky, but it works out. York down, looking to run again, 3-on-1.
And McFarland's back again.
Great save, 3-on-1. And Larissa McFarland gets the stop.
Well, she did a great job getting back to the middle of the lane, forcing them to make a pass that she could probably handle.
Yeah, nothing easy.
And a foul.
See a couple more free throws. That one called on Sam Ruse, just her first. 4.5 minutes into the second quarter, only 2 fouls total. This is a very different game than we've seen so far this season, especially with the new emphasis. Windsor connects on that, her third point of the ball game. So the lead at 8. Make that 7. The Knights perfect from the free throw line so far today. So technically everybody perfect from the free throw line today since the Spartans are yet to shoot one. Pull up good at the other end by Ruse. Lead is back to 9. Knights looking to close. Some very risky passing across the lane. Inside, just not clean connections. Look ahead, now it's a 4-on-2. It's just too easy, Mike.
Very easy, very easy. Again, another timeout.
if they can get in and the Knights have been able to get some steals with the press, and those turnovers are very helpful. But when they haven't, when York has been able to find ways to push it up the court, it's been deadly.
Yes, it has, and not so much the layups we've seen the Knights give up in earlier games. We're seeing some short jump shots a little bit outside the lane, but that's kind of the way York plays. They're not a very physical team. They're a finesse team. They like to make sure that they are crisp on their ball handling, although we've seen some unforced errors by them and by the Knights. Yet this game is just not what we've seen in earlier games as far as freedom, the freedom of play. They're not calling a lot of fouls. There's a lot of physical nature going on. So it's one of these issues where the players have to adjust.
Yeah, it's been difficult in a lot of ways. If we look at some of the first quarter stats, the one that jumps out to me off the bat, 12 turnovers by the Knights. Not that York is doing a ton better with 8. 3 assists apiece, 3 blocks apiece, 4 steals for the Knights, 5 for York. So pretty standard across the board with a lot of that. But
the shooting percentages are both shooting under 40%. And that's just something that you don't want to have as a coach. You want to shoot over 40.
Yeah, rebounds keeping the Knights in at 11-6 there. That is Tatiana Monson back in. Knights really having a difficult time connecting inside, and compounding that error is Kramer.
It's her first. But again, nobody really in foul trouble. This is something that has plagued the Knights in the past couple games, but either they've learned how to play the game the referees want, or these referees aren't calling a lot of fouls.
Gamby just takes it away, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Pretty distinct shove in the back of Katie Wagner that time. Gamby just strong at this end to go up for the post player, strip the ball and run away with it, but a little too excited on the other end for that shove. Off the mark, 2 players inside from York though, and that's going to be another travel.
Yeah, that's an automatic. Anytime you go to the floor with the ball, they have to call it as a
unless you're dribbling while you're doing it.
Yeah, and not a lot of people can do that.
Right. Monson looking for help and finds it. And just telegraphing the passes, Mike.
Yeah, very telegraphed.
And York is doing a great job of sniffing them out. Gamby again.
And a foul on number 10.
And the referee having a little conversation with Gamby. That's Sam Machniak. Her first foul. Monson inbound. And Shea Wilcox coming in, along with Windsor, to relieve Monson and Kramer. It was a good pass. That one got inside.
Nice step
Windsor
through.
with their own.
Good offensive rebound.
See, and that's all it took. It was that little no look. She saw her and then looked her off and came back to her. That enabled that pass. Gamby at the other end. And stolen right back. The Spartans now looking to push. And they will shoot their first free throws of the game. And that's going to be Windsor's second.
Yeah, but still not that bad of a foul. You got a 59% free throw shooting team coming in. Make them earn it from the line. And as I say that, they put the first one in.
It's Morgan Golick, her first. And the second. Kramer coming back in the lineup for the Knights.
Oh, and York's going to show their version of a press now.
Right into the corner. Knights looking to move, and they do get a good look ahead to Gamby. When they get there, though, it is 3-on-3 already, no advantage. More of a man
and that's
press.
not a smart foul by Gamby.
Well, the Knights look like they've, or the refs look like they have some attention to her right now. She's been playing a bit frustrated and expressing that to the refs, and that's
and
not
maybe
gonna help you.
Maybe this is a kind of thing that happened to Kevin Walker in the last game. Came off the floor very frustrated. When he came back in, super focused and
under control, motivated. Yeah, you're right. Good inside-out game, and the jumper from the elbow is good for Shearer. Lob over the top to McFarland, out to Monson. Mid-range jumper is short.
Oh, and the late foul.
That's going to be on 43, Katie Wagner. So the first half was relatively light on foul, or first quarter. Second quarter, not so much now, at 4 apiece.
The referees were told they needed to warm up also.
Mm-hmm. Those whistles, they just got to get some air through them. It's like a brass player. You got to warm up your instrument. Monson hits 1 of 2. Bishie back in the game with 2 fouls. That one off the mark. And Monson looking to push. Monson and Wilcox in the game now, both good ball handlers, and there's going to be a push-off. Good call. It's going to be Morgan Keeney called for it, her first, and that is another one of those rule changes.
Yeah. 5 fouls in any quarter, you're shooting 2 automatically.
Autumn Kramer short on the first, and Christina Siegmiller will come in for Monson.
These are points you've got to take care of. Anytime you get to the free throw line, especially in the next 2.5 minutes, you've got to put them in.
That's why it's a free throw.
Yes.
Kramer connects on the second. She's got 3 so far this afternoon. Spartans again with a little inside out. Knights still in the zone, off the mark. Able to get the rebound and reset. Way off the mark on that one. No shot clock reset there, but still the rebound. Oh, a great job. It'll stay with the Spartans, but Larissa McFarland sniffed that one out, jumped the route, got a hand on it. Great defensive effort.
Yeah, 16 seconds left in this zone that the Knights are playing. Really got York in a little bit of disarray.
That shot well off the mark as well. Boy, York really not shooting the ball well at this point. And another miss, but the constant possessions.
Oh, that was 5 offensive rebounds in a row.
That's going to really help that rebound stat that they struggled with in the first quarter just on that one possession. Somehow getting that shot up and underneath by Willette. Looked good, but just not quite enough. Skip pass over the top. And that somehow rolls in. Not the prettiest shot, but it got the job done. Sam Ruse now with 6.
Again, another little mini 4-point run that's starting to expand this lead further out than the Knights would really want.
Wilcox drives to the basket, goes up strong. No good, no foul. And York will slow it down. 20 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Look over the top, no good. Good box out by Siegmiller. Now about 4 seconds difference between shot and game. And that's going to be a foul on Sarah Shearer, her first. Distributed scoring, but distributed fouls for the Spartans as well so far, Mike. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 players with fouls and only one with 2.
Well, they believe in doing everything as a team.
There you go.
Great.
Short on the first shot is
Great
Seagull.
teammates. Great teammates. And let's see Alexa Scott ready to come in for Segmiller if she hits the second free throw.
And she does. .5 seconds left in this first half. York could hold for the last shot, but looking to press, they do not. And that may come back to bite them as the Knights can now hold for the last shot if they realize the situation. Looks like Willette does. Looking to go inside. And they're waving off the shot.
Yep. And that's the second on Ruse.
It will indeed. Autumn Kramer to the line. Makes the first. Very low scoring first half for both teams, Mike.
Yes, it has been. And again, both teams seem just a little bit out of sorts.
Again, that situational awareness. Great hit by Wilcox. Great defensive effort, unable to convert it into a basket, but you have to like that hustle and preventing the last second shot that the Spartans would have had.
Well, I think this is the least amount of points the Knights are going in down at halftime since they've won against Mary Baldwin.
And they've played well in the second half of most of their contests so far this year as well. So that certainly bodes well for their chances here in the second half.
Yes, it does. And again, maybe they'll come out with a little bit more togetherness. Again, a little disjointed on the offensive end and defensive end. Maybe a little talking to at halftime will put everybody on the same page, and we'll see them erase this deficit and get into the win column in the Capital Conference.
We'll see how that goes from here in the second half. Again, here from the Knight Sports Arena, the Southern Virginia Knights trailing the York College Spartans 34-21. We're going to try to get an interview here just before the beginning of the second half, so come back a few minutes early for us. We'll see you then. Welcome, everybody, as we get ready for the second half of the Southern Virginia Knights women's basketball hosting the York College Spartans. We have a special treat for you today. I was looking out in the first half, and right across there in stands, we had Diane Wilcox, First Lady of Southern Virginia University. Great to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's so great to be here, Art. I love the women's basketball team. I love to be here.
Yeah, it's really great looking around and seeing faculty, staff, students, administrators all here. You're a regular here.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. I just love to be here. I just think the women on this basketball team are tremendous. They work so hard, and they have a great sense of unity, and they're really playing in sync, I think, and it's so fun to watch them.
Well, it's a team strategy, particularly where you need that when you're pressing so much and that moving back and forth. It kind of breeds that as well.
Yeah.
Some struggles in the first half, but they've had some bright spots as well.
Absolutely, they've had bright spots. And the thing that's so great, I think, is their energy level. I find it amazing, that they just keep going and they have so much energy and they never seem discouraged. They just stay in the fight.
Yeah, some real hustle plays. Windsor really banging bodies down low, trying to fight there. And Gamby is just everywhere on this court.
She's amazing today. She always is. But
and from an energy perspective, since you brought it up, this is a time of year things are getting a little colder. It's just after Thanksgiving, and
absolutely.
And something else going on this week.
Yeah. Well, this was the last week of classes, so everybody finished classes yesterday afternoon, and then we just have this weekend, and then it's going to be finals starting on Monday. So it's a super busy time for all of these women. I mean, they have lots and lots of things going on, and yet they're playing so well, making such an effort. I think it's great.
Well, and extra props to those who've come out and supporting as well, rather than staying home and studying. Grading papers, whatever else they need to be doing. There's a lot going on this time of year. And
yeah, there really is.
Decorating as well. There's some holidays around the corner.
Yes, just right around the corner. The Christmas break will start here next Friday. It's the end of finals, so we're almost there. And
it's starting to feel like it a little bit, too, actually getting some cold weather.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of cold weather, but still lots of sunshine, I want to say.
And it's been really nice seeing campus start to look a little Christmassy as well.
It's looking great. Right. We have a lot of decorations. We had a lot of students decorate last Monday and Tuesday, and it was a great effort, and the school looks terrific.
So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here.
All right.
And I apologize I didn't prep you for this. One Christmas wish this year. What is it? If Santa Claus could bring you something, what is it?
One thing. I would love for all the students to be able to perform and do their very, very best on all of their exams and feel like all the effort they made all during the semester really paid off. That would be my wish.
There you go. Santa, hope you're watching.
Please, Santa.
She's been good this year, so help her out on that. Thank you so much, Diane Wilcox, for being here with us.
Thanks a lot.
We will be back in about 2 minutes for the beginning of the second half. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, as we get ready to start this second half. Looking down the stat sheet, boy, there's a lot of interesting things, Mike. The one that jumps out at me most, if you look at the end of the first period, You got York with 6 rebounds, Southern Virginia with 11. Really doing great. End of the second, cumulative now. 20 rebounds for York, 18 for Southern Virginia. My math isn't great, but that means they were out-rebounded 14-7 in the second quarter.
Well, the other thing that we need to look at is shots. We have York at 16 for 40, Southern Virginia 6 for 28. The thing that's kept the Knights in it has been the free throw line.
Good penetration on that one, but the basket does not fall. York out again with numbers. And a good block by Wilcox, but she's going to be called for the foul.
That's her
That
third.
Very early on. She's had a lot of touches, has made a lot of contributions, but has not scored yet. And the free throw is good from Morgan Keeney.
And it looks like York's trying to remedy that discrepancy at the free throw line early in this third quarter.
They are indeed. Second point, and they are back in the press that we saw just once or twice from them in the first. It is giving Wilcox a hard time, and a jump ball is called. Is that first jump ball we've seen?
First jump ball, and that may be the best thing that could happen to Southern Virginia, because now the ball comes back to them on the next jump ball. There was only 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
And a technical foul has been assessed against Coach Heather Roberts.
Well, that could be for one of two things. It could be questioning the call, and it could be her being way out of the coach's box.
Oh, we know it's not out of the coach's box. We've seen people parade all over this court and not be
But
called
it depends on what the referees want to enforce that day.
That's true.
Right?
We'll assume that it was some communication.
Yeah, since our ears are covered up and we can't hear anything.
Right. Yeah, even though we're sitting right here. And that free throw no good. Possession, though, of course, will stay with the Spartans. Oh, good look inside.
Oh, and now the whistles have gotten hot.
They have indeed.
Oh, and that's on Shelby, her third.
So the Knights now with 2 starters picking up third fouls in the first 34 seconds. Well, you can call Coach a starter as well. And that shot falls for Bishop, 2 for her first points of the game. Windsor and Wilcox both playing with 4.
Miscommunication on that pass.
Yeah, really disjointed the offense for the Knights. Had a difficult time working as a team, I think. Some great individual efforts. And Gamby stalking her prey. Open shot on the outside that time, but it is off the mark. Look back inside, and Wilcox tracks it down.
And Ruth with those long arms, just able to tip it back. Couldn't keep control of it, though.
Top of the key, no good. The rebound comes down to the Spartans.
And really haven't seen what we can say marksman at the three-point line tonight.
True. Oh, good look inside.
Just out of bounds to the Spartans.
A lot of body contact that time by Windsor.
Yeah, that's a good thing they just called it out of bounds.
It is indeed. Swinging around, open look. And the stick back also no good. Oh, and a little bit of an extra bump that time by Keeney. That'll be her second. Contact heating up a little bit here,
Contact's heating up. The only thing that's not heating up is the shooting percentages.
Oh, temperature. It's a little chilly in here. Knights yet to score in this quarter. And there's the commentator's curse we're looking for. Wilcox, her first bucket of the game. And that jumper falls for York. Keeney again. She's got 10 now. I'm noticing Mike Wilcox picks up her dribble
Very
early.
Very early, and you can see that there's no real spacing between her and the post player. She's way inside the three-point line.
Very possibly what is making some of those passes easy to intercept as well. Good look to the middle by Gamby. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Shelby Windsor called for 3 seconds in the lane. Had a couple of those calls so far already as well. Wilcox fighting for that one, but unable to come up with it. And the press pays off this time. The pass ahead, too hot to handle.
Yeah, but if you're going to trade back and forth turnovers, it's just not going to do enough to get you back into the game.
Very true.
The Knights need to find some type of rhythm on offense.
Wilcox all the way this time and able to get the teardrop to fall. She's got all 4 points for the Knights so far this half. Good ball movement by York. And the three-pointer off the mark over the back of Windsor, but she comes down with it. Wilcox again goes to Windsor. And no shot.
That'll be 3 on Keeney.
She started to add some fouls up pretty quickly as well. Carly McFatridge, Morgan Golick in the lineup for the Spartans. Lob over the top. Working through Windsor.
And that's a bad foul by Shelby. That's her number 4th.
And immediately the substitution, Alexis Scott, and that's got to be for Windsor. Good hustle play defensively.
And she traveled.
Oh, Kramer.
Again, those lob passes across the lane, that's where the Knights can really try to make some headway.
The opportunity to trap. It does get out ahead, though. 2-on-1 defense and blocked by Wilcox. Great defensive play by her. Turns into a great offensive play at the other end. McFarland with the basket. All the way and blocked again by Wilcox. A point guard blocks 2 baskets down low. That was a heck of back-to-back plays on her part.
She's got some great timing there. And looks like she's catching some of the Spartans mistiming on their steps going up for their layups, and she's just right there in the right spot, able to swipe them away.
Absolutely. The margin has gone back and forth substantially, but we are now 1 point away from where we were at halftime, which again, the Knights every match seem to start off slow and then get a little better each quarter. Breaking even now is good, but they're going to have to accelerate that, as you mentioned earlier, quickly if they're going to catch up in this game.
Now some other scores going on in the Capital Conference. We have Penn State Harrisburg at Mary Washington, and 9:03 to go in the third quarter. Mary Washington is up 41-27 at
41-27
at Frostburg. Salisbury is up in the third, 42-27. And at the start of the first, St. Mary's is hosting Wesley.
So we've got how many games now? We've got 3 games within a point of each other at 41-27, 42-27.
At about the same point in the game too. We're all in the third quarter.
Huh.
Pass ahead.
The Knights able to get back though.
Oh, and McFarland's got to push.
Only her second, obviously not ideal. but she's got a little bit of room.
Oh, and they're saying it was on the shot. Thought it was on the pass off, but. And that's the 5th team foul now in this third period. That means that York will be shooting 2 shots from now on.
Sam Roos connects on the second.
And we can look for
Oh.
York to be a little bit more headstrong going to the basket, knowing that they're in that double bonus now.
Knights able to break the press, but only momentarily, and bobbled at the other end, and it's coming back. Wilcox does not have numbers.
Yeah, and if you're gonna
Wisely pulls it out.
outlet it to your center about 15, 20 feet away from the basket, you can expect those balls to be taken away from little guards.
Yep. Knights trying to find
3
an opening.
seconds. And I've been watching Kramer there, and she's got in the lane as soon as they got possession, never got out.
And getting up court quickly are the Spartans. Fighting over the top there, but just too many threats inside. York converting on that one, extending the lead to 18.
Just not enough offensive power for the Knights. Kind of a anemic offense today.
Yep. Yeah, that was going to the lane, but not going really strong, looking for the shot. It was kind of looking for the foul, kind of not. And the putback is good.
And anytime you got a 6'1" center going up against a point guard, that center's going to win all the time.
Wilcox, a lot of dribbling. Oh. Goes up top, but then the pass back down low just too high.
And you can see some frustration in some of the players' faces. Again, when you look at this York team, they can put out several players all about 5'9", 5'10". It looks like a volleyball team.
Yeah. Good hustle by the Knights to get back on that. Swinging it around, York off the mark.
And that's been the best defense for the Knights, is forcing that outside shot.
Yep. Willett now with the outside shot off the mark. Token pressure rather than the full press. Good look inside. Shot goes wide, and it'll go the way of the Knights.
Again, there's Ruse with those long arms just reaching and trying to tap. They need to find her, put a body on her, get her outside the lane.
Yeah, box her out, especially with Windsor on the bench with those 4 fouls.
It has to be a full team rebound right now.
McFarland back up top. Toes it and pulls back, no luck.
Again, at the end of this third quarter, we'll get the updated stats and look at some shooting percentages, but I can't see the Knights really improving on their 21% so far.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. York working it around and finding an open shooter.
Again, though, you're forcing them to shoot from the outside, and they are not good shooters from the outside.
So both the Knights and Spartans looking to move the ball around a fair bit, though. Good turnaround. Doesn't drop. The difference is York College really able to find an open look at the end of that. The Knights haven't been able to do that so far, as that basket goes in.
Lambert.
Jalen Lambert. Outside shot. No good.
Nice
Rebound by
hustle.
Wilcox. Goes all the way. Out of bounds, stays with the Knights, and Shelby Windsor checking back in with 4 fouls.
Wow, again, another big risk. We saw it pay off for the men's team. against
Oh, yeah.
Marymount. Hopefully it'll pay off for the women's team now.
Struthers and McGowan in the lineup for the Spartans. Good look inside to Windsor.
Nice seal.
A healthy serving of that would do the Knights good for the rest of this game if they can get it.
Well, in the half court, she is really their only option. And until they can diversify their offense a little bit more, teams are going to figure that out and just collapse on her.
Good defense by the Knights that time, forcing the turnover. Spartans mixing up their defenses, this time allowing the Knights to advance the ball as Willett runs the offense. Back to Windsor, who drives again, pulls up at the elbow, short.
Nice offensive rebound attempt.
And good defense on that rebound as well, but it does bounce out of bounds off a Knight player. Spartans get it into the front court. Oh, good dump over the top. Great block, though. There will be the foul on the second, and
that's going to be on Windsor.
That is 5 fouls on Windsor. That is the risk that you run.
Yep.
And that is, lest we forget, 119 not in the game in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I thought that there was a foul on the first attempt,
too,
and I wish they would have called that one.
Yeah. Kramer, it would have been her second. But no call on that, which means the call on Windsor.
Well, now they've really lost their option in half-court offense. They're going to have to come up with a new tool to use.
That basket good by Golick. Short on the second. Gamby comes up with the rebound and is looking to run because it's Jamila Gamby. Shot off the mark for Willett. Pressure helps, but only for the moment. Now numbers for the Spartans.
And got caught in between, but the offensive rebound.
Kind of an odd off-balance shot, but it worked. And foul underneath. It's Katie McGowan called for it. That'll be her first. That is her first foul of the game and 13 fouls. And pass handled roughly, but able to get it back.
Oh, and the foul.
It's going to be Willett going to the line, I believe. Julia Struthers called for the foul, her first. First is good for Willett. And Christina Siegmiller checking back in the game. So 5 Knights have fouls on them, 10 Spartans. However, of course, they're more densely packed for the Knights, as the second free throw is good for Willett.
Well, and the big thing is we have 1 foul out for the Knights, and that being Shelby Windsor, which is their main offensive weapon.
And nobody with more than 3 and only 1 with 3 for the Spartans in Keeney. Shot is no good, but now can hold for the last shot. The Spartans chose not to in the first half, choose not to again. But a good decision this time. Julia Struthers off the bench is good for 3. That's a first three-pointer of the game for the Spartans.
Great work by Siegmiller.
It'll get under the basket, fight for it, and get that putback again.
No good, no good.
Situationally, really bad decision-making by the Spartans so far at a couple of different times, just not knowing how much time's on the clock.
Well, we saw the point differential grow. Unfortunately, the Knights are behind the 8 ball with Windsor being out now for the rest of the game, this next 10 minutes. the Knights are really going to have to try to increase the tempo even more now. Conversely, we're going to see York take the air out of the ball and just try to use as much of the 30 seconds as they can.
Well, some stats that we just have coming in, Mike. What jumps out at you as far as from the stat sheet?
It's got to be the shooting percentage again. Going into the third quarter, the Knights were only 6 of 28. In this third quarter, they were 5 of 18. Just a anemic offense, even though they did almost outscore themselves in the third quarter than they did in the first 2 quarters. So, but still just a lot of things that aren't going well for the Knights, especially if you look at the turnovers. I know their defense wants to create turnovers, but when you're turning the ball over 31 times as opposed to only creating 23 turnovers, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, very, very difficult struggle there. Also, the one that jumps out at me, 3-point field goal percentage for York is 1 for 12 at 8.3%. For the Knights is 1 for 9 at 11.1%. You were talking about a lack of marksmen. I think that's a pretty fair statement.
Yeah, there's an old saying that if you're in a rowboat in the middle of the ocean, you couldn't throw the ball and find water.
And there's a second, potentially no good.
Oh, here's a 2-on-1.
Oh, good defensive effort.
Going to call the foul.
Autumn Kramer called for it. That'll be her second.
Well, while we're having free throws here, Art, what do you think about the news of the BYU football coach leaving Provo and going to Charlottesville, Virginia?
Yeah, coaching UVA. Interesting news that came in last night. Bronco Mendenhall. I think there were probably some folks who saw Bronco leaving, depending on the headline, Bronco Mendenhall leaving to coach University in Virginia, and may have gotten their hopes up a little bit. Of course, Southern Virginia in the market for a head football coach right now.
Yeah, I don't think the Southern Virginia could come up with the $3.5 million.
10-second call. I thought it was only 3.2.
Sports Center said 3.5. Okay, so $3 million.
Yeah, I don't think it's the point that really matters.
Yeah.
It's not the 0.2 or the 0.5.
Well, there are some rabid fans in the ACC, and if he can turn them around, that'll be great.
Three-pointer is good for Julia Struthers, and in a night where lots of folks are struggling, she's doing very well at the line. There'll be the foul called there.
Lose with her third.
Struthers now 2 for 3.
So she is the hot hand.
She is the only hot hand. Well, especially when considered she's 2 for 3, which means the entire rest of the York College team is 0 for 10.
0 for 10.
McFarland for Southern Virginia 1 for 2 from 3, so not doing terribly herself, but
and that's Gamby's first point of the game.
Yeah, and the good look ahead. Took the dribble, though, and still able to convert. Was worried that Keeney may have delayed a little too much, but not the case. Pass too strong inside, and the run out, and slowed down, just as you said they would, Mike. Wagner taking the air out of the ball.
Again, the zone that the Knights are playing has really caused some confusion with York. What's kept York in the game has been the runouts and also the offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
We've seen them where they get 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in a row.
It's going to be a foul on Jalen Lambert, her first. And with that, I believe Fuller and McFatridge, the only 2 players for York to have entered the game and not have a foul. Moving the ball up court. And a tie-up.
That's what you want. You want to force York to shoot the ball from outside the lane.
Yeah, York shooting outside is a good thing for you as long as it's not Struthers.
Yes.
I'm going to avoid that if possible. And speaking of Struthers.
And a walk.
Hadn't seen one of those in a while, so
just making sure they remember how to call it.
Yep.
Well, and again, that's just impatience on the offensive player. Most offensive players want to go 1,000 miles an hour when all you have to do is dial it back down to about 1 or 2 miles an hour. The defense
it's a big difference.
Will fly by you easily.
Gamby goes inside.
Ball stripped on the ground.
Turns it over.
Scott's got it back.
Great hustle play by her. Look inside. Just too strong by McFarland. Gets her own rebound and preserves the possession for the Knights. Basket is good.
Oh, and they're going to count it. Wow.
I could be wrong. I think that's the first time all night that we've seen a basket good that counted, and we have the potential three-point play as well. I've had several that have been fouled and gone down, but have been called before the shot.
I was surprised. I mean, I'm glad that it did get called good because it's for the Knights.
Sure.
But she was still in her steps.
Yep.
She got fouled, and that's not.
Yep.
This isn't the NBA for continuation.
It's in the NBA for a lot of reasons, Mike.
Oh, me.
Oh. Okay, that's going to be a foul on Kramer, her third now. Lambert goes to the line and well short. And 0 for 2 on that trip, but the rebound
with Ruse.
Preserves the opportunity. Oh, nice give and go. And the Knights come up with a rebound that time.
I think Tatiana gave him a little bit of a hip there.
And the ball all over the court.
Nice
Way
job.
to stay. Great effort staying with it by Wilcox and finding McFarland while on the deck for 11. McFarland leading the way for the Knights. Mike, they love shooting this three. Both teams.
Well, this is something that the Knights can put into their fouls for when they go and play at York. Play the zone, make them shoot from the outside, and if they can mount any type of offense, they can be right in the game.
Yep. Wilcox again picks up the dribble, telegraphs it, and no love at the other end. But
cleaned up by Wagner.
McGowan's miss is Wagner's rebound and basket. Monson to Gamby. Oh, good look by Gamby. No good though. But getting out in front of it.
And
oh, so
on
close. And leaving the shot clock where it is because they're saying Gamby didn't have possession.
Well, it just depends on what's your definition of possession.
Yep, I think that's a good call. And the look ahead and slow it down by Ruse.
Back out because they want to shoot a three.
Yeah, of course.
Let them.
Good practice for shooting threes, maybe. Something you don't do well, you need to practice. And the mid-range jumper, good that time. Victoria Varner, after her first entry into the game. Brianna Bishey called for the foul, her third now. So now Bishey and Keeney with 3 apiece.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of academic.
That's okay, we're an institution.
We are an institution. That's the 4th on Ruse.
That is the 4th on Ruse.
And now this is a reverse situation of what was going on in the third quarter, where York got to the 2 shots with about 5 minutes to go. Now the Knights have their 2 shots with about 5.5 minutes to go and can use this to try to get back closer in the game.
If you make them.
If you make them.
Uncharacteristic miss at the line by McFarland on the first. Very uncharacteristic empty trip in general. And great defense by Monson creates the turnover. Gamby diving all over the court. So I think that's been an issue the Knights have had all day, though, Mike,
Yes.
is when they create those turnovers, they seem frantic with what to do with it, and they haven't always turned them into great offensive possessions.
No, and that's what we talked about with them having more turnovers than they're creating.
And that's going to be Gamby.
Her third.
The foul's really starting to pile up, but still only on those 5 players. The 5
Oh, the
starters.
backside wide open.
Yep. Sam Mokniak, her first basket of the game. Gamby strong to the basket. Cannot get it to drop.
And got to walk.
So at this point, is that a heat check for a referee? If you just see how much you can blow the whistle?
It might be, but give it to them. They're going to call what they see until the very end. That's much better than the referees that just say, well, the game's out of hand, so I'm not going to call anything anymore.
And to be fair also, there's been a lot of walks. I don't intend to be critical of the referees on that. There have been a lot, but. And basket is good for Gamby. Her second and third points of the contest. And very quick tie up that time by Willette. Mike, we have a foul on a Southern Virginia player who did not start.
There we go.
A 6th player now for the Knights with a foul.
And that being only the 4th foul. Still, the Spartans are not shooting.
Tiptoeing the sideline is Bishie. Able to collect and keep the possession.
And another walk. And again, you don't have to go that fast if you're an offensive player. Let the defense react and then go. And now we're going to see a lot of subs coming in for the Spartans.
Fourth quarter is looking a lot like the first quarter with regards to all these travels, Mike. Yeah, the Knights really having a difficult time working as a unit. I mean, I think that's still been the story of this game. It's individual efforts, sure, but York working a lot better uniformly.
And the Spartan spacing's a little bit better than the Knights right now. And with you being a big Duke observer, you know that
Am I?
spacing and a
Offensive
charge.
foul. Monson stepping into that one.
You know that Krzyzewski is a major proponent of spacing.
Yeah, a little bit. Good look that time. Monson lobs over the top. Fuller, too strong. York bringing it back.
They use hers there as a release point.
And the short jumper rolls in for Sam Mokniak. Strong to the basket, but no good. And then
Oh, we're going to have a foul on Gamby coming back in.
comes right back in. Gamby now, as you mentioned, 4 fouls, 3 points, which may look like a difficult day, but at the end of the third period, also 6 steals. I'm guessing she's had at least one since then.
I would imagine so. And the good news is she's been able to play the whole game. This is a step in the right direction.
It's true.
I mean, we've seen games where she's been in for 7 minutes and has completed her 5 fouls there. So this is great for the Knights as far as her learning how to play throughout the whole game and not picking up just inconsequential fouls.
It's true. Wilcox comes away with it, tries to lob ahead. And Monson comes up with it. Way over the top. And a little push off helps Willette. The Knights trying to close this lead a little bit. The comeback unrealistic, but playing for pride at this point and experience for future contests. And Monson steps into the way. Got somebody coming behind. No foul call, no basket. And now York looking to run out. And then slow it down.
Double dribble.
Haven't seen one of those in a while. And now we've got Larissa McFarland coming back in along with, for those with a previous roster prior to this game, it is not Nicole Muse, it is Lexi Grantham wearing number 10 and Katie Durant also checking in. Speaking of giving some players some experience. McFarland turns. And Wilcox on the floor is the foul. No shot. Debria Hendricks called for the foul, her second.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting to see when the Knights go play at York, what adjustments they do make and how they intend to use some of the weaknesses that York has displayed against them.
And they have definitely shown some.
They have.
There's no doubt there. Both free throws. Good for Wilcox. Knights back to the press. And the long ball.
Again, I think you and I did volleyball. This is the equal to the side-out volleyball. This is just
travel. Deja vu all over again.
And we're going to have to hire a stats person just to look at the travels from now on. Keep a tally for travels.
Just under 2 minutes to play. Knights trailing by 25. They trailed at the end of the third quarter at 22. You'd like to see him win the fourth quarter. And playing pinball now, just like they drew it up, Mike.
Yeah.
Basket good for Larissa McFarland. 13 points for the Knights. She's had a good game.
She has had a good game by comparable standards, but for her, she needs to have much better games for the Knights to experience success.
Three-pointer call on that by Fuller. I'm pretty sure she was well behind, or behind the first line, but well in front of the second. I think one of the referees may have agreed with me, but deferred. Probably not going to make the difference in the game.
Oh, and an offensive foul. Yeah, I think if you would ask Larissa, she would tell you that she can do a little bit more. There's been a couple of shots that she left a little bit short, and that's just the type of young lady she is, always wanting to do more and do better.
Under a minute to play. Rivera to Machniak.
And there's that long three-point hoist.
Hey, but the last three-pointer dropped, so, and the perfect assist. No good. 10-second difference between shot and game. Debria Hendricks
Back
now.
tap. Two-pointer.
And the Knights going to the deck for it.
And they finally called the jump.
All righty. 22.4 seconds. The shot clock is off. The Knights need 4 to break even this quarter, though. It does not look like they're going to win the fourth quarter. Off of, they're saying off of the knee of Katie Durant, 12.4 seconds left. And the Knights pressuring to the end. And the clock winds down. That will do it. And the York College Spartans defeat the Southern Virginia Knights 46-72.
Yeah, it looks like the Knights had a very rough offensive night. Just couldn't get a lot of things going, especially after that first period. The Spartans hit about their average. They're averaging about 71 points a game, but again, a lot of chinks in the armor for the Spartans that the Knights can look to exploit in the next game.
Well, and as you mentioned, the Knights held them to about their usual there. The Knights just offensively unable to get enough points to stay competitive there. You'd like to see a little bit better offense, but there were some really bright spots forcing a lot of turnovers in this game. If you can just take some of those and convert them to better offensive possessions, it's a much closer game.
Yeah, and again, convert your own turnovers you're forcing, but you got to cut down on your turnovers. If you're going to be a high-risk defensive team, then you have to take care of the ball when you have it offensively, and you got to make sure that you turn the ball over less times than you force the turnovers. So
yeah, and that's why they talk about a turnover margin.
Yeah, and when you're a negative turnover margin, it's just not a good thing.
Yeah, well, once again, Southern Virginia Knights women's basketball falling to the York College Spartans. Stick around. We'll have the men's game here to follow in about a half an hour. Stick around for that broadcast, folks. We'll see you then.